Okay, welcome back to another breakdown video. Today we're going to look at EURGBP. That's a trade that we took last week. So if you joined our live on Sunday, we went through a few pairs that we were looking at for the week, and EURGBP was one of them. So let's see what we did and how it played out. So when we started the live, we marked up our highs and our lows, right? So this was our support level, and then we knew that okay, that's going to be our resistance level. We know that okay, at this point, these are the highs and the lows that these are our key levels. Obviously, if you want to learn how to do the market structure, if you want to learn how to do marking up your charts, if you watch the videos in the course playlist, you'll be able to understand how to mark up your charts. So we knew that okay, these are highs and these are low, and anything between these two lines, there's a no trade zone. We don't trade in between these two lines. So when the market opened, this is a funny thing that happened. When I got back on the charts, I saw that this low had been created, giving me an indication that the market wants to go down. But then I waited a few minutes and I realized that that high also got broken. So now we have an indication to the downside, and just within like maybe a few hours, we have an indication to the upside, right? That's what I'm saying. You have to be patient when you're trading ICC because we have an indication, but it didn't give us room for any correction. And now we have an indication to the up. But we also know that anything above this has a probability of what? Of buying, because there are buyers at the top. And anything below it, we have sellers at the top, right? So when I see this, now I know that I have an indication on the 4-hour, right? So let me make this one green. I have an indication to the upside, which is on the 4-hour. And then usually what I do is I go to the 1-hour to see if there are any indications at all. So when I came onto the 1-hour as well, above that same high and low for the 4-hour, I realized as well that there had been an indication also on the 1-hour, right? Let's make that one blue. There has been an indication on the 1-hour as well. So now we know that 4-hour has given us an indication that the market is going to be bullish, and the 1-hour has also given us an indication that the market is going to be bullish. So remember what I say: anytime you have an indication and that the market begins to correct, you have to go to the lower time frame, which is going to be the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes time frame, to see if you are going to get the same thing happening there. It's going to be indication, it's going to be correction, it's going to be continuation. So I moved to my 15 minutes time frame, and then I wanted to see what was going on over there, right? So now at this level, I knew that the 1-hour had given us an indication, and then I know that this is the 4-hour indication that I was looking for. But when I got onto the market, we were around somewhere here, right? So at this level, I knew that there was no indication being formed, right? I knew there was no indication on the 15 minutes. I knew there was no indication being formed in 15 minutes. How do I know that? Because I knew that lower lows were being broken. So this was a low. That low got broken at this level. And then what happened was that this low was not broken now, right? So this was a low that was not broken. So I was looking at this low because it tried to break it, but the buyers were strong, so they kept it afloat. So it was all the way there. So the minute I'm seeing this, there's only one thing that is coming into my mind, right? So on the 15 minutes time frame right now, I know that we have a lower low here. We have a lower low here. This lower low got broken, creating another lower low here, right? And then this lower low, this support level was able to hold up the market. This support level was able to hold it, right? So that low was not broken. So this is our lower low. Now we have a what? We have a lower high, right? So remember, if you are trying to go, if the market is going to be bearish, you're going to have lower lows, lower highs. There's going to be a lower high, and then you're going to have your lower low there, and obviously your lower high here, right? And then what you're looking for, if the market was going to continue to be bearish, that a lower low, a new lower low would have been formed. A new lower low would have been formed at this level as well. Sorry, guys. Yeah, a new lower low would have been formed at this level. Then we'll know that the market was going to continue. But what happened? That lower low was not formed. We have something else. What we had here was a lower high. So now we have a lower high here, right? We have a higher low. Sorry about that. We have a higher low now being formed here. Why is it a higher low? Because this low is higher than that low. That support was not broken. So now we have a lower high here. And then what I saw here was a high that was formed, but that high was also lower than that high, right? So it's a lower high, a new lower high was formed at this level as well. Hold on one second. A new lower high was formed at this level as well. And remember, if you're seeing lower lows, lower highs, higher low, lower high, you don't take no trades, because you only take a trade when you're having lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, indicating a bearish trend. And if it's going to be an upward trend, then you're looking for higher highs and higher lows, right? So we had this low, and then what I realized that now we are having higher lows being formed. So that was a higher low, and then another higher low was formed, right? And then I realized that another higher low was formed here on the 15 minutes time frame. And then when I saw that higher low being formed, now I know that, okay, a few higher lows are being formed, right? So we have a few higher lows being formed. Higher low, we have a higher low there as well. So now I'm looking for higher highs to be formed, right? So at this point, I realized that a higher high was formed at this point. So this became our new higher high. This became our new higher high. And anytime you're seeing higher highs, what are you looking at? You're looking at the market beginning to form what bullish, right? So I saw the higher high, and then I knew that a new higher low was formed at this level, and then a new higher high was formed. And then when this higher high was formed, that low was broken, giving us a new lower low, right? But what happened was that that lower low also didn't break this, low. Didn't break that low, right? So the minute I saw that, I said, okay, there's going to be an opportunity for us to enter this market. All I want to wait for is for it to go above that line, because once it goes above this line, then it is correlating with the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame. So at this point, I saw that this got broken as well. So that is our 15 minutes indication to the upside, right? Once I saw that indication, all I had to do was to enter the market from this level and then go back to my 1-hour time frame. And then obviously that was where my low was set. And then an interesting thing happened, yeah. So I'll show you guys. So what happened was, usually when I'm trying to take my profit, I target the body, right? So my first target was this one, and then the next one was that. So usually you're targeting the body, right? It's the body that you're usually targeting. So I targeted the body, and then when I targeted the body, this was the body, right? This was what usually, like, I would have targeted over here and then made my money, and then I'll be out of the trade. But what I did with this particular trade is that I targeted the what's it called? I targeted the wick over there. So it obviously, when I was watching it, it was just trying to be funny, because it went all the way. If it goes in 1-hour time frame, it went all the way there. Yeah, it went all the way to that point, and then this one came down a little bit, and then obviously from there it just hit my profit. So that was the analysis that we did on Sunday, and that's how it played out. We're gonna have another one on Sunday. If you guys are willing to join, you can join the chat, and then obviously we'll explain. If you're new at trading, I don't want you to look at a lot of pairs. I just want you to take just one pair and focus on that. But because obviously we had time, we just had to go through some of the pairs that some of the guys that we had in our group chat wanted us to go through. So that was it for EURGBP. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, get on the Discord and put the questions in there. I'll be able to answer you. I'm not charging anybody for this. It's just you having time to be able to study. And if you're able to study and then you can make use of it, then obviously all the best to you. So yeah, thank you for your time today, and I'll see you in the next video.